Hello and welcome to another episode of my show. I'm suddenly very self-aware that I'm staring into a camera and talking quite loud, since I had a few audio issues with the last video, as you're no doubt aware of. But I've now found the option to turn up the volume of my microphone and turn up the volume of my voice as well, which helps a lot. Anyway, on to the actual subject, the PlayStation 3. Now, I'm not an owner of the PlayStation 3, I'll be honest. The main reason for that is £425 is a rip-off in any man's terms for a games console, essentially. I mean, I do think Blu-ray is quite impressive, but I don't want to pay that much for that to be included, really. I mean, I'd much rather if you take out a Blu-ray player and knock, say, 50, 60, 70 quid off the price, that sort of thing, I'd be very happy then, since I don't really need one. You know, I get a decent upscaling DVD player for your HD TV if you need one. You don't really need Blu-ray, let's be honest. The games do to a certain degree, since it does help in terms of resourcing, so you don't have to compress the games, which is one of the main reasons why Resistance was the so-called muted 20 gig game, despite it being very short and very crap, essentially, but was because they didn't compress any of it. I mean, if you compress it, you can easily fit it onto a DVD, and it'd be yet another boring FPS set in sci-fi world where you play an American defeating aliens. Big surprise there, which is what seems to be the main theme of Next Gen, is just big, gruff men beating up aliens in the future. Very entertaining and a very original theme if it weren't for Ridley Scott and aliens, essentially. So anyway, onto my big issue with it is the games themselves, or the lack of. See, they don't have a lot of exclusives at the moment. The exclusives they do have do look quite good, like Metal Gear Solid 4, Little Big Planet, and Heavenly Sword. They look quite good, quite fun as well. But that's where the book ends, you see, really, because a lot of the third-party games, they're not quite as good on the PlayStation 3 as they are on Xbox 360. A lot of them suffer from bad frame rate issues, some terrible anti-aliasing, say in the case of Spider-Man 3 or Slowdown, which is quite surprising when you consider the fact that the PlayStation 3 is a bit more powerful as well, so it should not be having these issues. I assume because they have poor development tools at the moment and developers just being lazy and doing the 360 as their lead platform, because that's where the big audience lies, 10 million Xbox 360 owners versus, I think it's 4 million PlayStation 3 owners. I think we all know where the money lies there. And that's one of the big issues as well, the selling. Now, the PlayStation 3 has launched in all three territories right now, and it's still in all three territories, sat right on the shelves collecting dust. Quite strange, really. You'd think it'd be selling out by the same standard as the Wii set, really, which is still sold out right now in this country. Very annoying. So I still want one, but I should not be waiting 7 months for that. That's for the next video, I'll leave that. But the PlayStation 3 didn't sell out at launch in the UK. It sold half its amount that it's actually shipped over here. Very optimistic of them, really, to ship 300,000 units, when pre-orders were very poor, essentially. Even though they did hide it with the excuse of they want people to walk in and buy it off the shelves. I think we all know that's a bit of a lie. That's a bit of a yeah right, if you get my meaning. So instead, it's a not very optimistic situation. I mean, I don't want to buy a console that isn't selling and doesn't have many games on it, because it's a bit of a lame duck at the moment. It's the sort of what I call the Dreamcast effect, where that console after a year was essentially dying. So what's the point in buying one, because you know it's not going to be a good investment, essentially. There's going to be no more games for it in a few years, and that seems to be the case with the PlayStation 3. Perhaps I'm calling it a bit too early. Perhaps we should wait at least 12 months, so when we have Grand Theft Auto 4 and Heavenly Sword and Warhawk, those sort of games out on it, perhaps we will see a resurgence in popularity. But at the moment, I think we can all safely say PlayStation 3 is going to be in third place if it carries on this way. I think what they really need to do is slash the price. The first thing to do, if you want more people to buy it, don't start charging $600, or for us, we're being charged $800 essentially at the moment. I mean, probably more if the dollar was worth a bit more at the moment. Things like that. And number two, start securing those games. I mean, currently talks of Metal Gear Solid 4 and Final Fantasy 13, not being exclusive anymore. We don't need those sorts. We need whoever's the head boss. We need Ken Harada to start getting those exclusives back. I mean, it would be a lot prettier picture if we knew each game that's going to be on the PlayStation 3 was exclusive in the same way that the Wii games are. So I think that's the only way really can save the PlayStation 3 from what is going to be undoubtedly a bit of a doom. So really, that's all I've really got to say, and I'm sorry to have to say it, because I was really looking forward to that console, but unfortunately, right now buying one is out of the question, because it seems a bit silly to do it. No, it's a bit of an engage at the moment, if I'm being honest. Sorry to say this, and sorry for being slightly controversial as well. I'm sure I may have pissed off a few people. I apologise for that. Over and out.